Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Today in this video we are going to learn how to use the direct and the indirect object pronouns in Spanish. Now that you know how to identify the direct and the indirect object in a sentence, we need to learn how to replace those direct and indirect object with the direct and the indirect object pronouns. Yes, in this video we will learn how to use the words me, te, lo, la, le, etc, etc, etc. So now I'm going to share my computer screen with you and I will give you some examples and you will see how we replace the direct and indirect object with the pronouns, and also I will leave you some exercises for you to answer in the comments below this video. Vamos a empezar. Before we start using the direct and indirect object pronouns, let's take a look at the questions that we will use to identify the direct and indirect object one more time. The first question that we need to apply is the question ¿qué? The second question we need to apply is the question ¿a quién? And the third question will be ¿para quién? First question ¿qué? Second ¿a quién? Third ¿para quién? So now let's take a look at what the direct and the indirect object pronouns are. Let's go over direct object first. Direct object pronouns. We have me, te, lo, la, nos, los, las, For the first person, when we imply a mí or to me, right? In English, a mí, to me, we will use me. A ti, to you, we will use te. A él, a ella, to him, to her, or even to it, we will use lo and la. To us, a nosotros, nos, a ustedes, to you guys, los, las, and to them, a ellos, a ellas, los and las as well. The indirect object pronouns will go like this, very similar, me, te, le. Here's the first conflict that you will find here, the first difference between direct and indirect object pronouns. For a él, a ella, to him, to her, the indirect object will be replaced with the indirect object pronoun le. Then for a nosotros, to us, we will use nos. A ustedes, to you guys, les. A ellos, a ellas, to them, les. So the same pronouns, but le instead of lo, la, and les instead of los, las. Let's take a look at the first example we have here. Yo compro zapatos para ti. Yo compro zapatos para ti. ¿Yo compro qué? Zapatos. ¿A quién? No answer. ¿Para quién? The third question. ¿Para quién? Para ti. So, yo compro zapatos, direct object. Para ti, indirect object. So here we will have with blue, the direct object, and with green, the indirect object. Yo compro zapatos, direct object. Para ti, indirect object. Now let's replace the direct object first with a direct object pronoun. Here we go. Yo los compro para ti. Yo los, direct object pronoun, compro para ti. Los is replacing zapatos. Now we will replace the indirect object with the indirect object pronoun. Yo te compro zapatos. Yo te, replacing para ti, compro zapatos. So in this sentence, I am replacing zapatos with los, and I am replacing para ti with te. Now let's see what this sentence will look like if we replace the two pronouns. I will say, yo te los compro. Yo te los compro. The indirect object pronoun goes first and the direct object pronoun goes after. Yo te los compro. And this is a very common sentence in conversational Spanish because we are always trying to say the most we can with the least amount of words. Instead of saying yo compro zapatos para ti, we will prefer to say yo te los compro because it's shorter and the message is the same. Let's take a look at one more example here. Mi padre regala un carro nuevo a mí. Mi padre regala, to gift. Mi padre regala un carro nuevo a mí. Un carro nuevo, direct object. A mí, indirect object. So I will replace un carro nuevo with the direct object pronoun. And I will place it before the verb and I will get a sentence like this. Mi padre lo regala a mí. Lo is replacing un carro nuevo. Mi padre lo regala a mí. Now I am going to replace the indirect object with the indirect object pronoun. I will place it before the verb and I will get a sentence like this. Mi padre me regala un carro nuevo. Mi padre me regala un carro nuevo. I can also replace both and I will place the indirect object pronoun first and the direct object pronoun after. So the sentence will get like this. Mi padre me lo regala. Mi padre me lo regala. Otro ejemplo. Yo devuelvo los libros a la biblioteca. Yo devuelvo los libros a la biblioteca. Devolver means to return, to give back. So I return the books to the library, is what we are saying here. The direct object will be los libros. And this sentence doesn't have an indirect object because a la biblioteca is not a person. La biblioteca is not a persona. La biblioteca is a place. So a la biblioteca is answering the question a dónde, to where. So this doesn't qualify for a direct or an indirect object. So this sentence is an easy one. I just need to replace the direct object with the direct object pronoun and I will place it before the verb and I will say yo los devuelvo a la biblioteca. Yo los devuelvo a la biblioteca. Otro ejemplo. Mi primo ordena una pizza en el restaurante. Mi primo ordena una pizza en el restaurante. Direct object. Una pizza. En el restaurante, it's a place, so it answers the question ¿dónde? It doesn't qualify for a direct or indirect object. So I will replace una pizza, the direct object, with the direct object pronoun, in this case, la, and I will say, mi primo la ordena en el restaurante. Mi primo la ordena en el restaurante. Now, please pay close attention to the following example. Here, yo pido un favor a mi amigo Carlos. Yo pido un favor a mi amigo Carlos. Pido, the verb pedir, to ask for something. So this sentence is saying I ask for a favor to my friend Carlos, or I ask my friend Carlos for a favor. Objeto directo. Un favor. Objeto indirecto. A mi amigo Carlos. Un favor, direct object, a mi amigo Carlos, indirect object. Let's replace the direct object first with the direct object pronoun. I will have, yo lo pido a mi amigo Carlos. Yo lo pido a mi amigo Carlos. Now we will replace the indirect object with the indirect object pronoun, and I will get something like this. Yo le pido un favor. Yo le pido un favor. Le is replacing a mi amigo Carlos. Yo le pido un favor. Now, I would like you to think of the sentence with the two pronouns, replacing both direct and indirect object with direct and indirect object pronouns. I'm pretty sure you would like to use le, lo, but the combinations le, lo, and le, la won't be allowed in Spanish. In this case, we will need to use the word se. This sentence will go like this. Yo se lo pido. Yo se lo pido. Here is where the word le turns into se. Yo se lo pido. The little word se is a very complex word. This word here, I'm going to point it here with this red dot. This word here, the word se, is a very, very sophisticated word. We will study more this word, but for now, just remember that the word se replaces le when you combine le, lo, or le, la, or even the plurals. Les, los, les, la, les, los, les, las, etc., etc. Take it easy, please, take it easy. We will take a look at another example that will help you understand this a little bit better. So, this sentence here. El profesor enseña música a los estudiantes. El profesor enseña, teaches, el profesor enseña música a los estudiantes. Música, direct object, a los estudiantes, indirect object. We don't need the combinations le, lo, le, la, or their plurals, so we will go step by step. El profesor la enseña a los estudiantes. El profesor la, because of música, enseña a los estudiantes. Now let's replace a los estudiantes. We will have el profesor les enseña música. El profesor les enseña música. Les a los estudiantes. Now we need to replace both the direct and the indirect object with the direct and the indirect object pronouns. Yes, we won't put les, la. We need to replace les for se. So we will say, el profesor se la enseña. El profesor se la enseña. Yes, ahora tú. Now you. So I am going to disappear here from the screen and I will show you a few exercises and you have to do the same. First, identify the direct and the indirect object, then replace the direct object with the direct object pronoun. Then you replace the indirect object with the indirect object pronoun. And finally, you replace both. I will also put some music in the background so that you don't find this boring. Feel free to push pause at any time and let's get started right now. Thank you very much for watching this video. Don't forget to click on the thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. Also, feel free to check out our accounts on Facebook and Instagram. Remember to work on the exercises that I showed you and leave your answers in the comments below. I will take a look at that and let you know my feedback. Yo soy Giancarlo y yo apruebo este mensaje para ti. Hasta la vista.